Now joining us is Father Patrick Hough, the Executive Director of Grand Coteau Retreats in Louisiana in an area known as the Miracle Zip Code. So, Father, we're going to start right there. Why do they call it the Miracle Zip Code?
Yes, in 1866, young Jesuit St. John Berkmans appeared to a postulant nun in the back property we have here in the convent and cured her, and then appeared a second time, and the Holy See accredited it was the first canonized miracle to have taken place in the continental United States. So it's a definitive place of healing, and then the Society of Jesus created our own beautiful grotto to Lourdes to continue that, and we've continued to trust that the Lord is going to keep bringing people here to be healed.
So, Father Hough, great to meet you, by the way. What's the history of the Jesuit mission on that land? Because you're a Jesuit.
So we arrived in 1837 because the Sisters of the Sacred Heart persuaded us to come and open a boys' school, and they said, hey, if you come, we'll give you 200,000 white bricks to build your building, because that's how nuns work, right? Very practical. And we arrived in 1837, ran a school for 100 years, and then it became our novitiate for 100 years.
So before we get much further, how does an Englishman end up in Louisiana?
Because I said yes to God, and I was like, are you really serious? I'm going to go to America and join the Jesuits. I went to a Jesuit high school in England and trained in Rome for many years and met the Jesuits from the New Orleans province, and they encouraged me to come visit, and I did, and came to this holy ground and was just completely St. Paulized, as it were, like, I think I'm supposed to enter here. And I took 3 more years to confirm, because I'm like, God, this is a crazy idea. And he convicted me, and then here I came.
Hey, I'll tell you, I was Jesuit trained at the Greg, just so you know.
Oh, so am I.
I got my, there you go, there you go. We got something in common at least. Hey, by the way, what type of retreats do you offer at Grand Coteau?
Yeah, in Grand Coteau, we offer the classic Jesuit retreat of one-on-one direction. Somebody comes on a silent retreat. We meet with them each day for about 45 minutes to an hour and direct them through the spiritual exercises. That's our core values of what we do. But we also offer preach retreats for men or women where groups might come about 50 at a time, and they would be led by a Jesuit through a preached version of the spiritual exercises. And now we've also grown into a place where groups come. Down here in the South, we have a movement called the Acts movement, which is renewing a lot of parishes. So they come with about 70 or 80 women or men on their weekends. And youth retreats. We have about 150 rooms in 200 acres of land. So we have a lot of space.
Beautiful place. Looking at some of the images, wow.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. Yeah. Why should people consider taking a retreat? Why is it important?
You know, that question is the fundamental one. And I look at it this way. After the Lord's own baptism, he went out into the wilderness to spend time with his Father. He recognized, I can only do my life's mission when I've gone and withdrawn to be with my Father. And I think the fathers of the church and popes have said for centuries now, there's a resource called the Spiritual Exercises of St. Ignatius, but also the principle of just following the Lord, of taking time away to calm down, to put your technology down, and to recognize that the Lord, and this is why it's wonderful to talk about this in Advent, we need to make a way for him.
You know, I'm always impressed when a retreat house offers retreats for couples, married couples, men and women who are just good friends and have a relationship. So I know you do that. And what could a couple expect if they were to go together?
Yeah, we're very thrilled to have partnered with various groups, the Willwoods community down here in the South, as well as others, to bring couples here. That's more of it's not totally silent. There's moments of silence. But we recognize that what we want to do is for couples who are doing just fine, you know, we find, Your Excellency, that sometimes couples say, oh, I don't need to go on a retreat. My marriage is doing fine. I'm like, I'm sure it is. That's great. We want to help it do even more. So we guide you through different questions, prayer moments, discussions, as well as seeing other couples who are just fervent in their faith and going through what you're going through, and time of fellowship, as well as the classic Mass, adoration, confessions. But it's really a time for a couple just to say, when did we last go away and just concentrate on praying with each other? You know.
As a married man, I think a silent retreat would be okay.
You're not the first to tell me that, but I will tell you that you know, when they get here, people, we find you've got to get them through the door because people are a little intimidated about going on a retreat. Oh, I don't know. You know, I think people expect when you go on a retreat, there's supposed to be spiritual fireworks every minute of every day. And I put it to them, you know, you're just making this commitment to the Lord that you want to spend time with Him and with your spouse. And it can be subtle and it could be a firework, but don't worry about what you think is going to happen. The Lord is going to reward you. He's never outdone with generosity when you give two
Oh,
nights, two
if,
days.
if Jay and Shirley went on retreat at your place, there would be fireworks. I guarantee it.
Well, if we talked, well, tell us about the Life-Giving Wounds retreat for adult children of divorce, and it's next year, right?
Yeah, so we want to try and respond to what are the needs of the times. And we have so many people growing up who've gone through broken homes. And the Life Giving Wounds is a wonderful organization that offers retreats throughout the country to help now adult people realize, gosh, I got to fix some of this stuff if I'm going to also be an effective spouse, child, parent. And so we bring them here and we look after them over the weekend to help process with professional psychologists as well as the Lord. Because one thing I want to assure people, we don't believe in putting spiritual bandages on psychological wounds. You know, so we're trying to combine both when we do that with the Lord and professionals to help people be healed of some pretty tough moments from their early childhood. So that's what Life Giving Wounds is about.
Well, Father, we're thrilled you were with us today. Where can people get more information?
Yeah, if you go on our website at gcretreats.org, Grand Coteau Retreats, so gcretreats.org, you'll see the great selection that's offered for priests to come on retreat, lay people, couples, young people. It's all there. And we're about 2 hours outside of New Orleans with a local airport here in Lafayette, Louisiana. And we make this commitment. If you can't always afford, the Lord will find a way. So you should come anyway.
Hush puppies being served?
Great food. Great food.
Well, we're in Louisiana, so all our friends in Louisiana, I'm sure, will be very interested in those all over the country. Well, Father, thank you so much and happy Advent.
Thanks, Sue. God bless you both.
God bless you too.